Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Jason here, 410 Real Estate, and I'm hanging out with my friend and colleague Sasha Kesed from Washington. Just thought it would be kind of a cool, different thing to do to bring somebody in from a market that's not ours, so you can stop listening to me spout all the market statistics about Phoenix and maybe get an idea of what's happening around the country. And if this goes well, maybe we'll provide some other markets for you to get some information from. So Sasha, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for inviting me, Jason.
Yeah. Sasha and I met through the Tom Ferry Coaching Organization a couple conferences ago. So I can tell she's doing great things in Seattle, and who better to give you, well, the Seattle area, I'm sorry. Who better to give you that information than Sasha? So tell us about yourself a little bit and what you do and that sort of thing.
Well, I work in the greater Seattle area, which covers the South Snohomish County and North King County. King County is where we have Microsoft and Google and Amazon and Starbucks and all that fun stuff. So the inventory levels are really nice to see in comparison to both counties, as well as price points and things that we experience every day with our clients. We notice the trends, but then when we get the hard numbers, we're like, oh yes, that is exactly what was going on.
Right.
So yeah.
So I hate to pull you inside for today. You said you have sun for like the first time in forever up there, right? Those of us in Arizona would like to know what it's like not to have sun for a day or two.
When it is sunny outside, I'm telling you, I blossom like a flower. Like I have my energy levels. The clients are all like, can we go today? Can we go today? I want to see this house. And if usually it's just drizzling, it's not too bad in terms of like safety or when you walk around, but it's just annoying when it drizzles.
Yeah. So here I'm constantly telling everyone how low our inventory is, how high our supply or our demand is, and the craziness of our prices. Are you seeing similar things up in the counties you serve, or what's going on up there?
Definitely. Thankfully, I have noticed a change. I think we've all collectively decided it's time for spring. It doesn't matter what the calendar says, it's time for spring. In November, December, especially, we were down to like less than 5 days of inventory in Snohomish County, which is ridiculous because you're trying to help out your buyers. And then at the same time, you're hunting down the off-market properties because real properties on market don't exist. And right now we're getting back into it. We're up from less than a week to about 10 days in Snohomish, 15 days in King County, which is very encouraging.
Man, I thought our supply was low. We're just under a month of supply here, and that's actually pretty low for us. But I don't know what the volume looks like in your counties. We're talking about 9,000 homes a month here. What do you guys? Is that a lot higher than what you're doing in your area?
Because our inventory is lower, I think our numbers are lower in terms of volume. We average out like 2,000-3,000 new listings a month, and then the same go pending. And that's what's interesting, because when you look at new listings popping up, but then you're matching it in pending, and it's like you're just barely making it. Yeah.
Well, that explains, I guess, some of the difference in days. If you're at about 15 days, 10 or 15 days supply, but you're only doing 2,000 or 3,000 homes, we're doing 9,000 homes. So but it's still less than a month of our supply, because we sold 8,800 and we've got 8,600 listings right now. So yeah, it's been crazy. What about prices up there? What have prices been doing the last couple of years?
Definitely increasing. They're still on the rise. I feel like everybody started to think maybe the prices were leveling out or decreasing in the fall time, but it was just because buyers were trying to find other substitutes, like let's rent for half a year and look in the springtime, which again, here we are already in the spring. But King County, we're at 892, just like 900,000, and Snohomish County typically lags behind by like 150,000. But because Snohomish County has smaller amounts of inventory, they've been climbing that difference and making it up.
See, I have no idea about, I'm glad to have you here, because I have no idea about the Washington market. So I didn't even know, when I hear prices like that on average, I think more of like California, Southern California and stuff, but you actually have a pretty high cost of housing up there in comparison. We're at about 540, 550 is our average here. So and I thought we were high.
Beautiful.
We were at 350 2 years ago, though. So it's gone crazy these last 2 years.
Yep. We started to see about 2-3 years ago, we started to see California move up here. and it was just everyone went remote. Then they can pick a spot, and they still wanted to stay on the coast. So they've certainly migrated here like birds. And what was interesting is even King County, it's so vast and diverse. You go a little bit rural out, and you can get great homes for like 600. You can still make it and have a yard and everything. And then you get to the east side of Seattle where I am, and some homes we average 400 per square foot. And then I've just taken a look at a couple of properties that are 1,700 per square foot.
Wow.
And they're basic up to 4,000 square feet, five bedrooms and 1,700 per square foot.
Wow. For it to be that high per square foot on a big home is crazy. Usually you see those kinds of numbers like, I don't know if those are the numbers, but I'm thinking like Manhattan for 1,000 square foot place is like 1,700 a square foot or whatever. But to have a 4,000 square foot house at that price, wow, that's a lot. So,
and as long as buyers see that is valuable at that price, they keep buying them, and that's why prices keep rising.
Is what you're telling me, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but is what you're telling me about the counties you serve, is that the same as what's happening like in Seattle? Because we're getting a lot of people in Arizona that are coming from the Pacific Northwest, but it sounds like you don't have a lot of inventory up there. So I'm wondering what's happening. There's not a lot of people selling their homes there, but there's still a lot of people coming here from there. So
absolutely. I think a lot of people are waking up to realize HELOC loans are available to them. They have a lot of equity saved up. Even if they bought a year or two ago, they have huge amounts of equity already, and they want to take advantage of it. They want to invest their money. And that's when we find amazing agents like you in Arizona, people in Florida and Texas, and say, hey, I know you want more doors. That's not exactly available for this price here, but let's find you somewhere else to invest.
Yeah. I think this isn't new information for you and I to know that we have a national network of professionals that we can refer to. But I think for me, I'm trying to put more of an emphasis on it this year because I don't know that my clients know that we do that as much here. So I'm happy to start to do these kinds of things because I know people here are thinking about moving other places sometimes and want to know what's happening before they get there. So this is fantastic. So why should somebody come to the east side of Seattle where you are? Why should they relocate there?
We have amazing companies. We're going strong because we have all of these tech companies, and we have a lot of little businesses supporting Boeing. Boeing contracts out a lot. So this is why anywhere from Everett to Tacoma, you have the structure in place that your prices typically don't go down that much, even in other periods. And of course, they're skyrocketing right now. So, and like I talk to my clients all the time, real estate goes up in steps. So you see prices jump and then they kind of level off or do their own thing, and then they jump again and they jump again. So whenever you get on that ladder of investment or personal property is really advantageous to you because anyways, prices are going to go up. Yeah.
Well, I'm ashamed to say I've never been to Seattle, but I need to get up there and check it out.
Please come to Seattle. We'll give you a tour.
Absolutely. All right. That sounds good. So I put you on the spot for the last few minutes. Do you have any questions for me since I want to be fair here? And or anything that you didn't share that I didn't ask you that you want to share too?
No, you're amazing to ask me. And I just want to turn the tables on you and ask you how your market is going.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've talked a little bit about it, but like I said, we're just under a month of supply. We've jumped a couple 100,000 in average sale price in the last couple of years. We're seeing a lot of transplants. You mentioned a couple of other states, but Arizona is usually about the third on the list when it comes to relocators destinations. It's usually Florida, Texas, and Arizona. Texas and Florida like to flip flop every now and then, but we're seeing massive increases in demand here. And it's making it tough for buyers, especially as it probably is in your market as well. But it's a great time to be a seller. And I think the message that we need to get across to anybody here in the Phoenix area is that, gone are the days of us being the low cost of living state. I think people have been used to, you can get a 3,000 square foot house for $300,000, and
right.
That's not happening anymore. And I hear that all the time from people. I'm going to wait till the market corrects and comes back down again. It's like, if we got another couple year run on this, on increases, and then we correct another 10% back, you're still going to be higher than today's numbers. So
Exactly.
You know, sitting on the fence in Arizona is not necessarily the best strategy anymore, but we see it happening all the time. And the really interesting thing is rents are going up here as well. Rents have gone from like a 1750 average about a year ago up to 2250 now. So it's getting to the point now where the average rent could buy you a $450,000 house.
Wow.
So we're seeing a lot of renters going to the purchase route. In fact, I think the statistic was only one rental for every 5 closed sales right now in Phoenix, because renters are migrating to purchasing because they realize, why pay somebody else's mortgage when I can pay my own, right? So
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of our market. Sounds very similar to yours, just a little bit higher volume, that's all.
Yeah. And as I introduced Arizona to my clients, and like last weekend, I sat down and told them about the Tom Ferry network and different areas that they can invest in. Where would I recommend my clients to invest in your state?
So Arizona's so diverse. Most people don't know. Everybody thinks of Arizona as, tumbleweeds and cowboys, and we have actually the largest concentration of ponderosa pine trees in the world in Arizona, and that's in northern Arizona. So I know you just went through and saw the Grand Canyon in a couple places. So
yes, I drove through it. It was amazing to see. It's
so diverse, though. People, maybe don't have that mindset. So, and we have great agents through the Tom Ferry network that serve northern Arizona as well. I'm in the Phoenix metro area. So in terms of investments, if they're looking for that, they would want to look on kind of the outskirts of the Phoenix metro area. That's where you can still get the cash flow and the price points that you need. So places like Queen Creek, Santan Valley, Florence, Maricopa, those are the towns that are kind of on the outskirts. But Tucson's another good place to invest because price points are a bit lower than here, but it's still very much a metro environment. And then depending on what they're looking for, VRBOs, you can get up in the mountains in the Flagstaff and Show Low and places like that and pick up a cabin and use that as an Airbnb. So really Arizona's got places all over, but my specialty is here in Phoenix. We actually do property management as well. So any investors that are looking in the area, we have a lot of experience with rentals. We manage about 260 properties. So yeah.
Great. That's great. That's great info that I'll take back to my clients. And like I said, we're actively talking about it.
And if you come here, the requirement is that you can no longer be a Seahawks fan. You have to be a Cardinals fan once you get here. So because it's the rivalry. It's the rivalry. So
yeah, we'll talk about that. It may take some personal growth, adjustment.
You can still like the Mariners if you want, but just not the Seahawks. They're the villains here. So
we'll work on that.
Yeah. Any other questions for me?
No, but I'd love to do this again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll check in and see how things have changed in a while, but I appreciate you being here. If this video was helpful, do us a favor, whether you're watching through Sasha's network or mine, share this with your friends, subscribe to channels, follow us on Instagram, all those different fun things. But we will see you again next time on our next video.
Thank you.